What exactly is franchising? Drive through almost any town in the world and you're going to pass a McDonald's. When your car makes a weird noise, maybe you drop it off at a Midas. To you, as a customer, it just feels like one massive corporation. But behind the counter, that location probably isn't run by corporate headquarters at all. It's owned and operated by someone who lives right in your community, a franchisee. So how does that relationship actually work? And what are you really buying when you invest in a franchise? Let's break it down. At its simplest, franchising is just a way for a business to grow using independently owned locations. There are two main players here. The franchisor. That's the parent company. They created the brand, the recipes, the software, the whole blueprint. And the franchisee, that's the independent owner. They're buying the right to run a business using that brand's name and blueprint. In exchange for using the name and the system, the franchisee pays certain fees and agrees to play by the rules. Everything about this partnership is laid out in a legally binding contract called the Franchise Agreement, or FDD. When McDonald's awards someone a franchise, they aren't just selling the right to flip burgers. They're handing over the keys to an entire tested machine. You're getting help with securing the real estate, employee training manuals, supply chains, inventory tech, and national ad campaigns. Same thing with Midas. You aren't just slapping a recognizable yellow sign on an independent garage. You're stepping into an established system with built-in operating standards, diagnostic tools, and brand trust from day one. A quick word of caution here. Just because a brand has a famous name doesn't automatically mean their back-end system is rock solid. Always look under the hood. This is why people get into franchising in the first place. If you start a business from scratch, you have to invent literally everything. The logo, the suppliers, the POS system, the pricing, the marketing. You take on all that trial and error with your own life savings. With a franchise, those decisions are already made. You get a playbook that's already been tested in the real world. Plus, you can pick up the phone and talk to other owners who've been in your shoes. It's a massive head start. But remember, a head start is not a guarantee. A playbook only works if the system is good and you execute it properly. Think of it as a two-way street. Corporate provides the framework, the brand power, initial onboarding, operating manuals, and national marketing. You provide the execution. You put up the capital, hire the crew, manage payroll, serve the customers, and run the day-to-day hustle. You'll pay an upfront franchise fee to get in the door, followed by ongoing royalties and marketing fees. Every single penny and requirement is spelled out in what's called the Franchise Disclosure Document, or FDD. Now, why are franchisors so strict about their rules? Consistency. When someone walks into any McDonald's on the planet, they expect the fry to taste the same. If one owner cuts corners, it damages the reputation of every other store in the network. So that's the trade-off. You get a proven model, but you give up the freedom to change the menu on a whim. Here's a vital distinction. As a franchisee, you might own the physical equipment, the inventory, or the local business entity itself, but you do not own the brand. You are essentially licensing the right to operate that brand for a set window of time. That's why reading the fine print around renewals, transfers, and termination clauses is non-negotiable. Let's be real about what franchising is not. It is not passive income, and it is not an automatic ticket to wealth. Corporate isn't coming to run your store for you. At the end of the day, success comes down to four things: the strength of the brand, the quality of their system, your local market, your day-to-day execution. Franchising gives you structure, support, and a running start. But before you write a check, look past the shiny logo on the sign. Do your homework, study the numbers, and talk to current franchisees. If you want to compare real data and see which systems actually deliver, check out Franchise Grade to research and build your shortlist before making a move.